Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Chat Studio, where we make English simple, natural, and useful for real life.
Hi, everyone. We're so happy you're here with us today. Get comfortable, keep listening, and enjoy this real English conversation. Emma, before we start, I need to say something.
Okay, that sounds serious.
It is serious. I found something yesterday that attacked me emotionally.
What did you find?
My first work ID card.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. I was cleaning my drawer and this old plastic card fell out. It had my photo, my name, and the worst haircut of my life. And the worst part, I looked so confident in the photo, like I was ready to manage the whole company. But I was actually just a nervous teenager who didn't even know where the staff toilet was.
That is painful.
Very painful. I stared at that photo for 10 seconds and thought, Alex, who allowed you to look this serious?
Please tell me you still have it.
I do, but nobody will see it.
Alex, you can't tell us the story and then hide the evidence.
I absolutely can. That card is going back into the drawer where it belongs.
Fine. But now I want to hear everything. What was your first job?
My first job was at a small supermarket near my house. And honestly, I thought it would be easy. I thought, how hard can it be? People buy things, I help them, done. But first jobs have a special way of showing you that you know nothing.
That is already a strong start.
On my first day, the manager gave me a blue shirt, a name tag, and a scanner. I put on the name tag, and suddenly I felt professional. For about 5 minutes. Then a customer walked up to me and asked, "Where can I find rice?" Simple question, right?
Very simple.
I panicked. I smiled confidently, walked with her to an aisle, pointed at a shelf, and said, "Here you go."
And was it rice?
It was breakfast cereal.
Alex.
I know. The woman looked at the cereal, looked at me, and said, "This is not rice." And I wanted the floor to open and take me away.
That is such a first job moment.
Exactly. I wanted to make a good impression, but instead, I made a confused supermarket tour.
That phrase is useful. Make a good impression means to make people think positively about you.
Right. On your first day, you want your boss and colleagues to think, this person is smart and responsible. But my first customer probably thought, this person should not be near food sections.
Poor Alex.
What about you, Emma? What was your first job?
Mine was at a children's clothing store in a shopping mall. And before you say it, yes, it looked cute from outside. Tiny jackets, tiny shoes, colorful dresses, little hats. Everything looked sweet. But inside the store, it was a battlefield with price tags.
A battlefield with price tags.
Yes. My first task was to fold clothes and keep the display table neat. That sounds easy, right?
Very easy.
Then a family came in with 3 children. One child touched every shirt. One child tried on 4 hats. One child sat inside a shopping basket like it was a boat. And I just stood there thinking, is this retail work or am I watching a small storm?
That is perfect.
Yeah. After they left, the table looked like a clothes mountain. My manager walked over, smiled, and said, "Welcome to your first shift."
That is friendly, but also terrifying.
Exactly. Let's go back to the beginning. How did you get that job?
I had to apply for the job. And to apply for a job means you officially ask for a job. You may fill out a form, send your information, or talk to the manager.
For me, it was very awkward. I walked into the store and said, "Hello, do you need a worker?"
Direct and simple.
Too direct. The manager smiled and said, "Do you mean you want to apply for a job?" And I said, "Yes, that. I want to apply."
At least she understood you.
She did. She gave me a form and asked about my schedule. I was still in school, so I needed a part-time job.
Part-time means you work fewer hours than a full-time job.
Exactly. I worked 3 evenings a week and sometimes on Sundays. At that time, I thought, great, I will earn money and still have free time. But after 1 week, I realized free time becomes very special when you have a job.
That is true. When I applied for my supermarket job, I also filled out a form. The form asked, "Why do you want this job?" And my honest answer was, "Because I want to buy a new phone."
Did you write that?
No, I wrote, "I want to learn responsibility and customer service."
Very professional.
On paper, yes. In my heart, it was the phone.
Let's talk about the first shift.
Ah, the first shift, the moment confidence meets reality.
That's true.
A shift is the period of time you work. My first shift was from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. When I saw the schedule, I thought, 5 hours? Easy. But after standing for 5 hours, my legs started asking serious questions.
What kind of questions?
Why are we here? Why are we still standing? Can we go home now?
Very dramatic legs.
Very honest legs. My first shift was busy. Customers asked questions, the phone rang, baskets were everywhere, and I kept forgetting which aisle was which. At one point, a customer asked, "Is this on sale?" I wanted to say, "Let me check," but somehow I said, "Maybe emotionally."
Maybe emotionally.
I have no explanation. My mouth was working alone.
What did your manager say?
She heard me and said, "Alex, just check the price tag." Best advice of the day.
My first shift was also confusing. At the clothing store, a customer asked me for a baby jacket in a different size. I said, "Sure, I'll check." Then I went into the storage room. Big mistake.
Why?
Because the storage room looked like a clothing jungle. Boxes everywhere, tiny shoes, tiny shirts, tiny pants. Nothing made sense. I stayed there for 10 minutes and came back with a hat.
Not a jacket?
Not even close. The customer smiled and said, "That's cute, but not what I asked for."
Polite but painful.
Exactly. I was completely in over my head.
Good phrase. In over your head means you are in a situation that feels too difficult for you. And on that first day, I definitely felt that way.
Did you have helpful colleagues? Yes, thankfully. A colleague is a person you work with. There was one colleague named Lily. She had worked there for 2 years, and she knew everything. Where the extra sizes were, how to handle difficult customers, how to fold clothes quickly, how to answer the phone. Everything.
Every workplace has one person like that.
Yes. When I didn't understand something, I looked at Lily like she was a superhero.
Retail superhero.
Exactly. But at first, I was too shy to ask questions. I thought asking questions would make me look stupid. Later, Lily told me, "Emma, asking is better than guessing." That line helped me a lot.
That is excellent advice. At my supermarket, I had a colleague named Nora. She was calm in every situation. A customer angry? Nora was calm. A shelf empty? Nora was calm. A child dropped orange juice on the floor. Nora was still calm. I asked her, "How are you not stressed?" She said, "Because this is not my first orange juice disaster."
That is wisdom.
Real workplace wisdom. She taught me how to stay calm, how to answer customers politely, and how to fix small problems without panicking. That was real hands-on experience.
Hands-on experience means you learn by doing something, not just by reading or watching.
Exactly. Nobody can teach you every workplace problem in a classroom. Sometimes you just have to stand there with a mop and learn.
First jobs are full of mistakes.
Absolutely. And some mistakes stay in your memory forever.
What was your worst mistake?
One day, a customer asked if we had fresh spinach. I wanted to say, "Let me check," but I said, "Let me spinach."
You said, "Let me spinach"?
Yes! The customer paused, I paused, even the spinach probably paused. Then I said, "Sorry, let me check." But inside, I had already left the planet.
That is amazing. My mistake was with sizes. I put newborn baby clothes in the section for 5-year-olds. A customer picked up a tiny shirt and said, "This looks very small for my son."
What did you say?
I panicked and said, "Maybe he is very stylish?"
Emma!
I know, it made no sense. Then I apologized and moved the clothes. But that is the thing about first jobs. You make mistakes, feel embarrassed, and then you learn.
Yes, at first, every mistake feels huge. Later, you realize mistakes are part of learning.
And most people forget your mistake faster than you do.
Except, let me spinach. I will remember that forever.
Let's talk about pay.
Ah, the exciting and disappointing part.
Exactly. My first job paid minimum wage. Minimum wage means the lowest amount of money a company can legally pay you per hour. At first, I was excited. I thought, I'm earning my own money. Then I received my first paycheck.
A paycheck is the money you receive for your work.
Right. And when I saw the amount, I thought, wait, that's it? I had worked evenings, Sundays, busy hours, folding clothes, answering customers, standing until my feet hurt. And the amount looked so small.
That feeling is real. My first paycheck taught me math and sadness at the same time.
Math and sadness?
Yes, I started calculating everything by hours. A pair of shoes? That was 2 shifts. A phone case? Almost 1 hour of work. A burger meal? Too expensive emotionally.
That changes how you see money.
Exactly. Before my first job, I spent money more easily. After my first job, I understood effort.
Same. My first paycheck was not big, but it taught me the value of money. When you earn money yourself, every dollar feels different. What was your boss like? My boss was kind, but very organized. She noticed everything. If one shirt was folded badly, she saw it from across the store.
Like a folding detective.
Exactly. She would walk over and say, Emma, try again. At first, it annoyed me. I thought, it's just a shirt. But later, I understood. She was teaching me to care about small details.
Details matter in every job.
Yes. What about your boss?
My manager was strict but fair. Fair means she treated people in a reasonable and honest way. If you were late, she noticed. If you worked hard, she noticed too. Her main rule was simple. If you don't know, ask.
That's a good rule.
Very good. She said a question is better than a wrong guess. And after the cereal rice situation, I understood that deeply.
Very deeply. First jobs also teach you how to deal with difficult people.
Oh, yes. Difficult customers, difficult colleagues, sometimes difficult managers.
Did you have any difficult customers?
One man got angry because the supermarket didn't have his favorite tea.
Was that your fault?
No, but he spoke to me like I personally drank all the tea before he arrived.
What did you do?
At first, I froze. Then Nora came over and said, "Let me check if we have more in the back." She stayed calm, spoke politely, and the customer relaxed a little. Later, she told me, "Don't take every customer's mood personally." That helped me so much.
That is a big lesson. At the clothing store, a woman returned a jacket and said, "It is too blue."
Too blue.
Yes, not too small, not damaged, too blue.
What can you even say?
I said, I understand. Let me ask my manager. Inside, I was very confused. Outside, I smiled.
That is customer service.
Exactly. Sometimes your face has to stay calm while your brain is asking many questions. Some people say first jobs are dead-end jobs. Let's explain that. A dead-end job is a job with no chance to grow or move forward. No promotion, no future, no new path. It feels like a road that just stops.
Sometimes first jobs feel like that. You may think, I'm just scanning groceries or I'm just folding clothes. But I don't think first jobs are useless.
Me neither.
Because even if the job feels small, the lessons can be big. You learn how to work with people, how to follow instructions, how to stay on time, how to solve problems, and how to keep going when you feel tired.
The skills are invisible, but they are real.
Exactly. Later, in another job, you suddenly realize, oh, I learned this from my first job.
So even a job that feels boring can teach you something useful.
Always. If you pay attention.